Hey guys, Forrest here with Rocky Mountain School of Photography, and I want to do a little update. We are now on basically Sunday at the end of week 3, so hopefully you guys watched our week 1 and 2 video. You should definitely check that out. I'll put it up there in the corner, as well as down in the description. You can kind of see where we're at right now. But I want to tour you guys around today, show you what's new, show you what we've done in the past week, and also let you know what's coming in the next 7 days, because we've got a lot of exciting things coming that aren't actually us doing work, which is going to be nice. We can actually hire some people to do the upcoming stuff, which it's going to be a little bit refreshing. So let's go ahead and take a look, dive in, look at what's new, and we'll talk about it. So one of the things that we just decided actually is that we are going to have all of our gear, our equipment room as we call it, actually housed inside of the studio. And that makes a lot of sense because a lot of the gear we check out to students are camera, lenses, studio equipment, things like that. And having a garage door right back there makes it really nice for students to just pull up and they can load studio gear into their cars and then pull out. And that's gonna be really awesome. So what we actually did was we ordered this cage right here, which is it's actually a 10 by 20 foot cage made for basically like containing areas of warehouses and keeping stuff safe. So we're gonna be building this whole thing inside the warehouse here, and 10 by 20 feet is pretty big, but we have such a huge warehouse that it's actually not gonna take up that much space. That's only, 200 square feet, and we have 5,000 in this warehouse. So that's awesome. It can be a nice little separate contained area. The problem is it came damaged. You can kind of see if I can show you. All this bent metal here. This is the door, and the door just did not live through the freight shipping very well. So we contacted the company, they're gonna mail us a new one. But anyway, that's gonna be built in here. We're gonna be doing that in the next couple weeks, which is gonna be sweet. Should be awesome. Also, like I showed you guys in the last video, that wall we're waiting to get up, all of this stuff has to get bolted into the floor. And the floor has radiant floor heat pipes in it. Basically, there's hot water pumped through the floor from the boiler in the boiler room. And if you pierce one of those heat pipes when you're installing something screwing into the floor, it's not a good thing. They gotta, pull out some of the slab and redo all of that heat piping. So we're waiting on my boiler guy to come, force the boiler on, and then we're gonna use a FLIR infrared camera to see the heat pipes in the floor, mark them with some chalk, and then we'll be able to know where is safe to put mounting points down for the equipment room, as well as mount that big wall. So kind of exciting things. FLIR cameras are really cool too, and they've become really affordable. For those of you who don't know, they see infrared light, which it's a camera, right? But it doesn't see visible light. It sees light that we actually can't see and can't interact with. And it's really cool. It basically sees heat. It's heat mapping things. And you can see studs in walls. You can see all kinds of stuff. I'll bust it out a little bit in the video, so stay tuned. We'll take a look. It's kind of a cool thing. Figured I'd give you guys an update on the server cabinet since we're right here. Just looking at it. It's changed quite a bit, you guys can see right there. So now we've actually got 2 switches here. And let me flip you around and I'll explain a little bit about what's going on. So super simple. Basically, we've got the 52 Cat5 cables coming down from all the wireless access points, as well as the different jacks in the walls, things like that. And they are all coming down here. And right now they're just all terminated, but we have to trace all these back and figure out what they go to. Like as a quick example, let me just shoot over here. This is one of the offices, and every office has its own Cat5 jack that looks just like this. So there's 2 ports right there. And the whole idea is that most of our staff use the server in some way or another. So having access to that is really important, and having fast access to that's important. So we've got to trace all these lines back so that we know which end all of those ends connect to. And then once we know that, then we can, let me just grab focus here, then we can plug them all into the back of these black patch panels, pass-through patch panels, can't talk. And then these pass-through patch panels will be patch cabled to the different switches. So this is actually our brand new switch that we just got. Let me swing around here because it's really pretty. This is the UniFi 48 port Pro switch with power over Ethernet. It's really beautiful. It's one of those, like, I've wanted it for a really long time and finally got to buy it. But basically, this is gonna run our security cameras as well as all of our wireless access points, because it can provide power over Ethernet. So it actually sends power and data both through the same Cat5 cable, which makes things really simple for getting everything put together. So kind of cool. Later, we're gonna have another switch called an aggregation switch, as well as a firewall, as well as a battery backup, as well as probably a data server. So lots of fun things still to come. All right, and this is the room with all the changes. This is where the magic is happening. Couple quick things I want to show you guys. First of all, you'll notice that there's drywall in these door cavities. So we drywalled half of those so far. Pretty awesome. We've got all the electrical traced back and ready for the electrician to come. So he's gonna be coming as soon as he can, which is gonna be really awesome. And then this is my office, which we'll go into here real quick, and we can see that it actually has a wall, yay, right? So it's not mudded and taped or anything like that, but it's a wall, which is nice. we have one layer of drywall. So what we're still gonna do in this room is actually 2 more layers of drywall. We want 3 layers of drywall in this room because it's right against a classroom, and we just need to make sure that the noise proofing is good, because I don't wanna be driven crazy all day by listening to classes going on, and they don't wanna be driven crazy when I'm like recording a YouTube video in my office or something like that. One other thing we did was we actually put a 3rd layer of drywall on this wall, and you can see this has been mudded and taped, not by us, because I would be terrible at that. I'm not a very detail-oriented construction worker, you could say. But this has all been mudded and taped, which is awesome. And we actually used a noise-proofing compound called green glue on the wall, which is this really cool gel. It forms into a gel, and it does a lot for noise-proofing rooms, which is super cool. So I've been doing all this talking about this mystical green glue, and I wanted to actually show you guys what it looks like, because it's really cool. So basically, move you guys down, it's been applied to that whole piece right there, and it's just this like gel. It forms into a gel, and it bonds this layer of drywall on with the one that's already there. So we're basically adding a 3rd layer of drywall with the green glue, and the idea is that that gel bonds the 2 layers, and it really helps with sound isolation. I'll leave a link to this in the description. They didn't sponsor this video in any way, but I think it's a really cool product, and for those of you who might be a musician or you want like a really quiet room to maybe even do audio recording, this stuff is really sweet. So you should definitely check it out. I just wanted to pop in and show you. Comes in these big tubes. You use 2 full tubes. I'll show them down there. 2 full tubes per piece of drywall. So there's a lot of glue involved, but it works really, really nicely. Also, we plugged up the gaps where we had the old wall. Remember, there used to be a wall in this room, right? There was that wall running right behind me, and we took it out. Well, there were holes in the drywall, so we patched those holes like that, and then the one over here as well. That one still needs to get mudded and taped, but it's looking pretty good. So overall, really productive week. We got a lot of things done, a lot of drywall done, a lot of framing done. At this point, we're just waiting to finish up the drywall, finish up the framing, and then everything is gonna get mudded and taped and finished so the drywall all looks like professional and done. And then the painter's gonna come in, and then it's basically not us anymore. It's ceilings, it's floor, and it's stuff like that, which is gonna be really awesome, because then we can focus on setting up classrooms and moving gear and all of that kind of stuff. That obviously has to happen as well once the space is presentable and ready. All right, everyone, that's where we're at the end of week 3. If you guys like this video, I'd really appreciate you hitting that like button. If you didn't like it, you know what to do. If you guys have a question, comment, whatever it is, I'd love to hear it. If you guys have questions about construction, I know that's not the normal thing for this channel, but I'll answer it. And lastly, you guys should totally subscribe. We don't just do construction videos on this channel. We're obviously moving, so it's a time of kind of just documenting what's going on around the school. But usually we're teaching photography, teaching video, teaching things like that. So if that interests you, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon to stay up to date with future videos, and we will catch you guys in the next one. It's been a pleasure. I hope you have a fantastic day and enjoy your week.